Sad news this week, as I learnt that probably our greatest and longest supporter of the show and of our web hosting service passed away. Jason Milo Ramsey died this week at the age of 48. Milo, as we came to know him, was a tech enthusiast, and he started listening to Aussie Tech Heads all the way back in episode 1 in 2006. Over the years, Milo has joined many of the hosts on the show to present a weekly episode here and there. He was always sending in stories for us to use for the show, always chatting on Facebook, and always offering his support and help wherever he could. He loved his tech. Milo was a regular and devoted announcer also on Radio Triple UFM, Shoalhaven Community Radio, with his Mixed Bag radio show, streaming the show live with video as well, back before streaming radio was really a thing. He'd sit there in the somewhat darkened room with the 4G dongle and pumping it out to whoever knows how many listeners that there was at the time. Music was Milo's life, played guitar, wrote music. He was in a band called the Drewsters. Some of Milo's work is on YouTube under the page Milo Guy AUS, all one word, if you're interested. This episode of Aussie Tech Heads is dedicated to one of our greatest supporters, Milo. At the end of the episode, I will play an instrumental piece performed by Milo at home, just doing what he loved. Pass well, Milo, and thanks for your support from all of us over the years at Aussie Tech Heads. And welcome to episode 591 of the Aussie Tech Heads. It's another coolish sort of winter evening. We are coming live to you on a Wednesday night this week, a little night earlier. Some people have things to do on Thursday night this week, so yeah, that's me. So I won't be here tomorrow night. So we're coming a day early. So it doesn't matter. We still got a show packed full of good stories and some tech news for you guys. It is episode 591 on the 4th of July, Independence Day in the US. So how's that going? I didn't celebrate because I'm not over there. So we are joined tonight by Jordan and Joe. You can reach those two guys at Jordan or Joe at aussietechheads.com.au, and the email will get to them. We're also brought to you by ATH Web Hosting, so drag and drop website creator, a couple of clicks install of WordPress, Joomla and Drupal, domain registration, all the good stuff. Don't forget the other shows that you can look out for is the Aussie Tech Crypto, going gangbusters. They stream in through some new platform called Minds. Apparently Will's had enough of Facebook and he's got this new Minds platform. It's supposedly something like Steam It, goes along the same lines, where you can actually earn cryptocurrency for the amount of likes that you receive on certain things that you post. So that's pretty interesting. So go and have a look at that if you're sick of Facebook as well. But yeah, tune into the Aussie Tech Crypto, also the Aussie Mac Zone, and My Tech Opinion. This week I hear Shane is talking about video games, something that we spoke about a little while ago, and whether or not kids should be able to play all the games. You let your kids play GTA and all this sort of stuff. But yeah, so tune in there. Looks like he's going to take that task to hand and talk about that. You can get us on the facebook.com/Aussie Tech Heads, youtube.com/Aussie Tech Heads. Show notes and other stuff is at aussietechheads.com.au/podcast, and also the Aussie Tech Radio, which is new shows each Friday. So on the TuneIn Radio app, search up Aussie Tech Radio. We're also on Spotify as well. So get on your Spotify, free or paid versions apparently. You might get an ad on the free ones, but anyway, so yeah, good stuff. All right, well, let's get into this show and say hello to Joe. Hey, Joe.
Hey, Glenn, how you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. What have you been up to?
Oh, nothing much. Just watching the World Cup.
Oh, how's that going?
Yeah, it's going pretty good. My
Yeah.
team's still in it.
Oh, yeah, good, good. I think well, Australia got kicked out, and yeah, there's no fighting like the netball, is there, or basketball, or whatever it is.
No, there wasn't. No, not this time.
Yeah. Did you guys see that? Oh, Jordan. We'll say again, Jordan, so you can join in. Hey, Jordan.
Yeah, don't forget me now. I'm
No.
here.
I
I'm
thought I
keeping
will.
quiet tonight, so you might not have known I was there. That's all right. Oh, I'm good. I've had a pretty full on week technically with some applications and customers and things like that.
Oh, that's good. Keeping you busy.
Keeping me busy. Yeah, just building servers and things like that. Yeah,
Yeah, nice. Yeah, so yeah, the basketball. How was that fight? The brawl, the all-in brawl. That was quite entertaining, wasn't it? Chairs
I
and
didn't see it.
oh, you missed that. You have to Google it.
Yep.
Yeah, that was it was all in. Did you see it, Joe?
Yeah, I did. It was pretty brutal.
Yeah, yeah. They reckon it was well. Australia reckons it was the Philippines' fault. So I don't know if that's entirely true, but I know there was punches flying everywhere. I know that. Reminded me of the '78 Sharks Manly Grand Final. You know, it was just an all-in punch up all around. So yeah, good stuff. All right. Yeah, let's get into some stories. I guess. Let's see what I've got here first. I've got first story is a bit of a hosting story. 3 million AU domains transition to a new infrastructure, so and a new company name. So Afilias. So the domain have transitioned to Afilias Australia from Neustar. So apparently all the .com.au domains have been sent over to this new system. Often they move from a legacy system. So aside from the transition to a new infrastructure, Afilias said the domain would have better security, abuse, spam and phishing protection, and an Australian management and support team. And probably the biggest difference that I could see really that anyone wants to take any notice of is normally the .com.au's are 2-year registrations and now they're 1-year registrations.
Oh, really? So we're still going to pay the same price?
No, apparently they're a little bit cheaper as well.
What?
So,
What? Half the price for a year instead of 2 years? Yeah.
Yes, yeah, well, yeah, at least. Yes, it's a little bit.
I got the same email because I've got registered domains for clients and that as well. I got the same email, an email about the same thing, but I didn't realise they're going to cut it in half for registration time.
Yes, yeah. So that's what I believe, and that's what my paperwork has been telling me. So yeah, so
Yeah, well, yeah, that's good.
yeah, that's right. So I think what they were up about $30 for 2 years, and so they're probably down to around about $15 for 1 year, maybe 14, maybe a little bit less. So yeah, so that's
I
good.
think I pay a bit less than that.
Yeah. So when you get a domain name, do you get the .com as well?
Not always. Depends on the customer if they want it, really. And sometimes you can't get it anyway, so you get left trying to find different variations.
Yeah.
It's just getting harder and harder to get the domain you want these days, isn't it?
I think with the .com for sure. Yeah, for sure.
But now all the other ones are opening up, like your .nets and your .me's and your .b's and your whatever else you can add. But they're all so expensive. So
I can't remember where I read this, but I think I read that there's no dictionary word .com available anymore. So all the dictionary has been taken.
it wouldn't surprise me.
But you get a lot of people doing the domain squatting, which is where they think about, oh, that'd be a good domain name. I might make some money out of that in some future day.
Oh,
And so
my brother does the same thing.
yeah, right.
100 freaking domains and go, oh, I'm going to sell them all for this and this and this. And it never happens.
No, well,
Exactly, yeah. I've seen the same thing happen too a few times with a few people, and it 9 times out of 10 people are just holding up domain names and they're not even using them. And people who really want
The
them,
companies aren't going to come out and, other companies aren't going to come out and go, I want that domain and buy it off you, are they, Joe? Sorry to cut you off, but yeah.
yeah. So like I think the .coms, yeah, people squat on those. .com.au's are a bit harder because you've got to have an ABN to register them. You've got to have show business need. And I think there's a lot of other of those type of ones, the .eus and the .des. They're also hard as well to register unless you're in that country. I think the .eu, for example, like when you register, you've got to register with an EU address. So like it just won't let you do it if you've got an Australian address. Same with UK, the .co.uk. So those ones are hard. The .coms are just open slather. You just do whatever you like. And another thing that just happened to one of my customers through the week, they let their domain lapse. I think that was the EU actually. So they I don't know, they didn't renew it, and then 3 days after it expired, they wanted to renew it. And what happens after it expires? These particular ones, it goes into a redemption period.
Yeah, that's right.
And then it was going to cost them like $150 to redeem it. You know, so the only other option was to wait, say, 60 days. It'll fall out of the redemption period, go back on the market, and then they buy it again. So so just make sure you renew those domain names, especially if they're anything but a .com.
And you do get plenty of warning too, you know, like they send you that many notifications, you know, 3 monthly, 14 days, 5 days, 1 day. And they give you enough notification. There's no reason why you should miss it.
Yeah, and I think that's why, because I send a lot of notifications out. I know people get sick of them, but I'll send them. I think there's about 3 notifications, then the invoice before it expires, and then after it expires, you can't really do much. another month or something, or 2 months to renew it even after it expires. Not if it's a tricky one of these funky ones that goes into a redemption period. You're gone.
There's that period that nobody can register it.
Well, you can redeem it, but you can't register it. But to redeem it, it'll cost you like $100 or something. Yeah. Each domain has got a different price. All right. So that's enough about domain names. What have you been up to, Joe? What sort of info have you got for us this week?
This week I've got a few things I want to talk about. One of them is about Google explains the Gmail privacy after the controversy.
Yes. So tell us about the controversy.
Well, people are saying that Google are still looking at your emails and going through your emails and using them for marketing and for ads and stuff like that. But
I think, just a little bit further on to that story, I think the main part was it's not that Google, like no human from Google was reading them, but it's possible that humans from third party can read them. Like, if you can believe that. So
that's right. Yeah, some people who actually have access to some sort of apps, who are developers, they're the ones that apparently have a limited amount of access to it. But from Google themselves, apparently no one reads them.
Yeah, so Google lets people connect their account to third-party email management tools or services, such as travel planning and price comparisons. So apparently when linking these accounts to an external service, people are asked to grant certain permissions, and which often include the ability to read, send, delete, and manage the email. So according to the Wall Street Journal, the permission sometimes allows employees of third-party apps to read users' emails. So I think, what's the answer, Joe? Go and check your security settings.
Well, look, there's really nothing much you can do about it. Just don't keep anything that you don't want anyone else to see in there.
Yes. So where do you? Yeah, look, it's not very good though, is it? I guess, but I suppose, you know, you want to use these CRM tools and Salesforce and all this sort of stuff, or you don't know what happens to your data once you start linking Tom, Dick, and Harry into it.
You kind of don't really have a choice but to use these big email and big companies, do you? Because you want their services, but you don't necessarily want their emails.
Well, they're all linked into each other. I mean, you use Gmail, then you use all the online like Word and Excel, and that's all linked in.
That's right. You know, getting the same with Microsoft.
Then you've got Google Photos, and you've got Google Drive, and you've got your actual Android phone. So they're all linked in together, and you know, there's nothing much you can really do about it.
I mean, you can go and get your own little personal email server and stay away from the big guys and be the little guy in the small fish in a big pond, so to speak, and be less noticed. But at the same time, you still need these other services.
That's right. Like you
kind of get caught, having to use them.
You can have your own email server stuffed in the bathroom if you wanted to, or in the basement. And but you know, like if you're running some sort of company, you know, you want to run that Salesforce tool, and I don't know if you guys have ever seen that Salesforce tool, but your emails come up and you've got a list of customers. You can drag emails across to the customer, you know, and just really sort of manage the whole process of from your sale, from say inquiry email to to shipping email.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Well, the other aspect of it as well is if you do run your own email server, what's stopping them from anybody else that you send an email to that has a Gmail account? I mean, they're still going to get you there anyway.
So I guess, like, if what are you going to keep? What do you want? What's so bad? What's so top secret that has to be top secret? You want to keep secret? Well, I guess if you got something like that, you're going to have to, just for that particular form of communication, say you're sending the plans for the nuclear sub, well, you're going to have to just do it with another way, and just keep it off the Gmail, keep it off your emails, do it another way, Pigeon or something like that.
Keep it off the internet, if anything.
Well, that'd be preferable, but geez, everything's on there these days, isn't it? Like any.
Well, do you remember a while back when when there was a terrorist attacks and they were using the PlayStation network to communicate on?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah, I vaguely remember that. That's crazy, isn't it? They WhatsApp, they reckon that's all secure, and Snapchat, but geez, at the end of the day, is anything going to be secure? Just because the FBI can't crack into things. I don't know. I don't think anything's that secure. I think old Timmy Cook's got the key in his back pocket or something for little iOS backdoors everywhere. But Google said, just back to that story, Google said that customers had been verified. Google said companies that had been vetted could access messages, and only if users had explicitly granted permission to access the email. Gmail users could visit the security checkup page to see which apps they had linked to their account and revoke any they no longer wanted to share data with. And that's probably something that you should do every now and then. I've done it semi-regularly, like every now and then Google will pop up and say, you want to check your security? Just go, yeah, and then you go through the list of all these apps that you've granted permission to, and you go, oh, I don't even use half of these anymore. I signed up for that one as a bit of a joke, bit of a review item. So you just go, yeah, no, and just start blocking all the old calendar apps that you download, the old fitness apps or whatever that you downloaded 3 years ago when you wanted to lose weight, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's a good thing to do, is check your security. Same with anything. Look, if Gmail's doing it, bet your bottom dollar that Outlook and everything else is doing it as well.
Yep.
Like Salesforce has to work somehow, and it has to connect to your emails. But who's going to sit there and read your emails anyway? Like, unless you're doing nuclear sub plans, who's going to be reading them? So you just don't worry about them. I was only remembered today, actually, like just how much sort of focus goes onto your info that you send up into the cloud. I don't know if I told you guys this story, but a little while ago when my kids were young, I took a picture of them in the bath, and then I stored it up on the OneDrive, and then I got an email from Microsoft saying, you've got child porn on the OneDrive, take it down. Or we'll send the police around or something, or we'll do something or other.
They get everything, don't they?
Yeah, and I'm
they use keywords, don't they? They use keywords, so anything that's got a keyword, they sort of monitor that, and then they don't actually do anything about it until they get a whole heap of them. And then when they get a whole heap of them, it rings an alarm and it says, oh, you better check this one out. And then someone actually goes and looks at it.
Yeah, well, this was an actual picture. So obviously they got, I don't know, bottom recognition software or something. I don't know.
Well, they have got picture recognition software.
Yes. So, they weren't using the facial recognition in this instance. They were using something else. But it was. I got the shock of my life. I'm thinking, has someone looked at that picture? Like, isn't that worse than? Isn't that, if that was a picture of child pornography, wouldn't that be just as bad? Someone looking at it and like, get out of me emails, get out of me OneDrive. But anyway, that's what happens. You just don't know what's going on. But I use Google Photos now. Yeah, cool. Thanks, Joe. Jordan, what do you got cooking over there?
Oh, I've got all sorts of things cooking over here.
How's your Edge going this week?
My Edge, actually, it's still on. Look, I must admit, since the last updates, I haven't had too many problems with Edge.
Oh, that's good.
So maybe they've fixed something.
Yeah, look, my little laptop, it's been going a bit better since I sat through a painful update.
Yeah.
There's a couple of the things that it wasn't doing too good, and I went through an update, and it took a while to do. It was just, I don't know, just had a few, you had a few false starts, had to restart it, check for updates, restart, check for updates, but eventually got there. Now it's going a fair bit better, so it's good. Sorry to interrupt your flow.
That's right. No, there's no flow here. I'm going with the flow.
Yeah.
I had a little story here I thought was interesting. China claims to have a real deal laser gun that inflicts instant carbonization of human skin.
Caramelization, did you say?
Yeah, well, that'd be good, wouldn't it? We'd be eating each other if it was caramelized.
But what did you say?
I said carbonization.
Oh, right.
Carbonization. So, as the US prepares for war in space, China's bringing the space war home. Its ZKZM 500 laser assault rifle is reportedly capable of hitting a large target from a kilometre away, igniting flammable objects and burning through human skin. As it's ready for production, the researchers behind the project claim. The weapon that fires a destructive laser beam has been a dream of military researchers for decades. The US military has recently had some luck with huge laser firing cannons that are intended to be mounted on ships or trucks and can take down a drone by burning through its body. But effective laser rifles for use by individual soldiers have been stuck in the land of fantasy. The South China Morning Post, however, spoke with researchers at the Xi'an Institute of Optics and Precision Mechanics. I hate all these big long names. At the Chinese Academy of Science, who say they have developed a powerful laser rifle that will soon be in the hands of Chinese police who focus on anti-terrorism. I just think that's amazing. It's like Star Wars is, around the corner. Laser guns, eh?
Well, you look at all this stuff and you think, geez, that's futuristic. Is it really going to happen? Blah blah blah. But then again, like if you sat there in 1967, would you be thinking, geez, we're going to have phones that fit in our hand, computers more powerful than the moon rocket in our hand? You go, no way. So yeah. So I
think everybody's scared of they watched the movie Terminator, and they think the same thing. We're going to have robots running around. It's going to happen. We were thinking about it that long ago. We've made movies about it, and everybody's scared of it.
Well, we've already got these driverless cars and buses, so why not? They're all in Terminator. All those the driverless taxi and all that sort of stuff. But guess
I'm waiting for the fifth Element to reboot. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, right. I don't know
That's
if I've
my
seen
next
that
mission.
one.
They've got plenty of futuristic stuff that we only dream about.
Well, is that Bruce Willis? Is that one of his?
Yeah. Bruce Willis movie. There's got to be a reboot of that eventually, I'm sure.
Yeah, but are reboots any good? Like, I was thinking Total Recall. Was that a successful reboot?
What was I reading the other day? I think it's Jason. I think it was Jason's post on his Facebook that sparked this in my head right now. He was talking about a reboot of Fifth Element, I think, in one of his Facebook posts. And there was a reboot of Doom, I think he said, about to come out. I'll have to have a look on his page.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, there you go. Guess what I got today?
Facebook post. And there was a reboot.
Guess what I got today?
What did you get today, Gideon?
I got a letter. I'll show you. Now, I did get excited until I came in and verified it. But you look, game on, NBN. How's that?
Whoa!
Wow! Whoa!
You're there.
But I came in and I checked the NBN co, and I'm still under construction, ready for April, May next year.
Oh,
so I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
How can you send it that quickly and make people wait that long?
I know. Because I went to the Telstra site. I thought, geez, if anyone had, I'll tell you, Telstra is not. As I said before, there is no way I am giving Telstra my NBN. I'm just out of spite. Even if they have a better plan, just out of spite.
I think you need to ring them up and say, "Do you know who I am? I'm Glenn Goodman from the Aussie Tech Head Show. I need my NBN. Put it on."
Yeah, well, I've had a complaint with them now, and they don't even answer your complaints anymore. So I'm just so over it. Just so they're time wasters. They're just, it's just nothing. So they're gonna have to play really, really nice for me to do NBN with them. And once I get rid of the cable, then I'm just gonna be Telstra free. So it's gonna be good. But anyway, yeah. So look, I got all excited, but I don't think that the NBN is actually here. But I'm gonna ring up tomorrow and just make sure. Something just peculiar, I guess, when I flip through the plans, is they all go on about up speed. So there's just down speed. There's no up speeds listed anywhere. So
never.
Yeah, I know. So there's But anyway, that's I got a little bit excited. So
I check on that, Glenn. I make sure you check see what the up speed is before you do anything.
oh, look, I'll be checking out everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even think I'll be switching over straight away. I'll be probably even leaving it a month just to make sure everything is sweet.
Well, your up speed's pretty important, I think.
Yeah. So I need the up speed. I want to make sure I'm not going to go on a contract. I'm just going to do a month to month because the last thing I want to do is get locked into some clown telco like Telstra that they're just too hard to talk to, aren't they? I just at the wit's end with those people. So I'm just over them so much that just out of spite.
But they're supposed to be the best, aren't they? It's supposed to be the most reliable. They're selling it to everyone else and keeping the high scores. But
well, I don't know about the NBN. The NBN's sort of got control of all that now, but they sell all the other stuff, I guess, don't they? Well, I guess it still was coming over their copper wiring, but they sold all that as well. So yeah, is it really Telstra's anymore? But talking about all that sort of stuff, good old Foxtel. Have you ever recently had a call from Foxtel? I did, and geez, they were really pushy. They were really ready to make a deal, which was good. But I really wasn't ready to accept anything because I didn't want to spend the money. But Foxtel is using decisioning software to help it retain particularly high value customers as it defends against higher churn rates caused by the encroachment of new competition, namely Netflix. So Foxtel says our churn profile at the time was sitting at around just over 15%, whereas traditionally we had about 11 to 12% annualized churn. So what do you reckon? Is 15%? Probably, yeah. You probably want to try and keep that, wouldn't you?
You can blame Optus for that.
Well, for the soccer.
The Premier League and the FIFA World Cup. They've lost that. So,
so what
if they get that back, they'll probably get all those subscribers back.
Yeah, I think what would make me go to Foxtel would be if I could choose my own channels, pretty much. And why I don't understand why they don't let you do that. Like, how many people are going to choose Bloomberg? And if the station can't support itself, get rid of it, nick it off.
What about faster releases too? I think.
Yeah, well, they're pretty good as far as I know. Like, I don't watch too much TV, but some of their shows pretty much in the same week at least, if not the same, say, 24 hours. But yeah, that's not too bad.
I hear a lot of people complain about not fast enough releases. Everywhere else in the world's getting stuff before we are.
Right, but can you in Australia? Can you say go to Netflix or another legal Australian platform to get something quicker than Foxtel would get?
Well, you can, but even Netflix, like for a long time there, Netflix. I mean, I haven't had Netflix. I had it years ago before it was even in Australia. I went and got myself an American account and tried to watch it and kind of gave up on it. But that was early days when even America didn't have much stuff on there. But now they're saying that America has more than anybody else. Australia's library of stuff to watch is small in comparison to most other places. So really getting stuff on fast release, even on Netflix, I'd reckon would be a mission.
Yeah.
It's not fast enough. People say that they talk about piracy and they say, but people aren't getting the stuff fast enough. They want it fast.
I reckon I was NBA'd when this bloke rang because he was going crazy. Foxtel is beginning its NBA rollout. Yeah, blah blah blah. So they've got 2 call centres, Melbourne and the Gold Coast. I think that's just over there in Robina, actually, just down the road from me, and 2 offshore in Manila and Durban. The other thing, I guess, with the Foxtel is that I had a bit of an issue with the HD. Got to pay an extra $10 just to get the HD box. I just thought, well, why? Stuff you guys. Just give it to me for nothing, and I'll sweeten the deal a bit. But nah, the HD box, extra $10, thanks. So I thought, nah, get stuffed. Wasn't doing that.
It's well worth it though, Glenn. The
Look,
HD box.
yes, I know. Look, I'd like it for the sport.
The picture's so much better.
Yes, yes, but I think with the foot, I only watch the rugby league. You get a lot of games on Channel 9, and although once you put the Foxtel in, you sort of just re-screen the free-to-air channels, so you get the you re-screen your standard definition Channel 9s and all that, because if you've only got the standard def box. And so what I've found easier to do is, like, when the footy's on Channel 9, I'll just stream it through the 9 Now app and then Chromecast it to the TV. It's the best picture the TV's ever put out. So it's really good. And even those other channels on Channel 9, like 9 Life and all that sort of stuff, they're all coming through the air at SD. If you push them through the app and Chromecast them, I reckon they're a better picture than SD, what comes through the air. So that's something I keep in the back of my mind. Look, I don't know. What do you do with the footy? Standard def's all right. You just sit further back from the TV.
take your glasses off.
Yeah, that's right. Or
you won't notice it.
No,
you.
Well, you just watch it on if you're with a Telstra mobile, you can watch it on the mobile. They won't let you Chromecast it from the Telstra mobile. I think they might let you Chromecast it, but it'll only come up in like a half of the screen or something on the telly. It's really stupid. But you've got to open this sort of stuff up, and this is what gives people the irrits and what causes them to go to various online streaming platforms and circumvent all the stuff and get it for free.
Exactly.
Yes. So any comments about Foxtel, or I think we just talked that one pretty much out, didn't we?
No, you're good. Yeah.
Cool. What else you got there, Joe?
How's your phone going? Your Xiaomi phone? Did you end up getting your phone back yet?
I did. Yes, I've got it right here with me. I've had it for a couple of weeks now. There it is.
And how's that going?
I think it's going really well. I like it. Yeah, I like the battery. The battery lasts a long time. Like, I haven't charged this thing since last night, or since, say, this morning when I pulled it off, so to speak, and it's at 45%. Like, my iPhone was running out. I'd have to charge it at least once a day, at least. But yeah, no, probably bigger battery. But yeah, look, it's good. It's snappy. Couple of things have to get used to because it's Android, but no, it's good, Joe. Good. Do you like them?
Yeah, because apparently there's the company is doing a challenge against Apple and Google.
Yes.
Lots of people think that this Chinese company could actually get as big as Apple and Google.
Yeah, well, I think the phones, from what I read, that they're pretty good quality, and yeah, I think they're brilliant. Like, yeah, it had a bit of a misstep. The first one I got didn't really work properly, but once I got that back, once I got another one, a new one back, yeah, this one seems to be pumping on all full 4 cylinders. It's good.
Yeah, the company is about 8 years old now, and it's worth about $1.35 billion.
Right.
And and it's got a fan base, which is kind of unusual. What they do is they listen to people over social media, and they actually introduce different sort of products and services within the phones that they produce for them.
Because it's not just phones that they do either, is it? They vacuum cleaners and
yep, they do vacuum cleaners. They also make tablets, Wi-Fi routers. They even make TVs, set-top boxes.
Yeah. So I think they're going gangbusters. Look, if you want to, the one that I've got is the Mi A1, the Mi A1, and what's this Android Central? I'll show that for you on the screen. So the Xiaomi the Mi A1, best of both worlds. Yeah, best budget phone by Android Central. So yeah, look, I'm happy with it. Like, it's got the Android One on it. It's sort of getting regular updates, which is good. Which is one of the things most people find disturbing about their Android phones, is that they don't get enough updates. I'm just looking now to see if there's another one coming out, because the last one I had was a May update. Let's have a look and see where system update. So I'm up to Android version 8. Came security patch 5th of May. Check for updates, and I think there is a June one out, but no, I'm still on the May. So the June one hasn't been pushed yet. But yeah, no, it's good, Joe. I love it.
Yeah.
I was looking at them actually, the same one you've got, Glenn, for my boy. He's haggling me. We've made a rule that at 10 he can have a phone.
Right.
And his sister got one when she was 10. And we looked at them. I brought them up with him and we compared them, and they're equivalent pretty much to a Pixel 2.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they're good.
So for the money, 250 odd bucks or something.
Yeah, about 270 now from Kogan.
Yeah. And for a phone that's pretty much almost, I mean, I've got a Pixel 1, so it's in between the Pixel and the Pixel 2 specs wise.
Yeah, and it was
good value.
Yeah, look, it was a listener that put me onto these phones. So yeah, thank you again, because I think they're good. Like I did have probably a bad experience. Well, I had a bad experience with both. Probably just from Kogan was the first one, because when the daughter plugged the adapter that Kogan threw in with it, it blew up in her face, like quite literally, because she was plugging it in, switching it on, bang, in her face. And then my phone I had to send back because there was a couple of apps that didn't work, and a couple of apps reported that the phone was rooted, and I couldn't go into the restore system, or the whatever you want to call it, the Android system DOS reset thing. So I sent it back, and so they sent me a new one.
Yeah. Did you know, Glenn, that this company also has its own cloud storage system?
Oh, right.
And it's got its own cloud computing services.
Yeah, right. Jeez.
That makes things interesting, because I think that it's showing that they're actually interested in doing something in the space of the cloud.
Well, that is interesting. Yes. They got high hopes. The other
thing is they want to buy 1,500 Microsoft patents.
Right. Why would Microsoft want to sell them?
I don't know. I guess it all depends on what patents they want to sell, but the company's actually interested in buying them.
Yeah, right. That's very interesting. I wonder what they would be, though. Like, obviously, Microsoft's not going to sell anything that's worth anything. Well, actually, Microsoft probably owns all that Nokia stuff, don't they?
That's right, yeah. So they could be selling all that sort of stuff. Yeah, and all the rights to it, yeah.
Yeah, or maybe they either license it out to them or sell it.
I thought they sold it, the Nokia stuff.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I thought so. I thought someone else bought it off them, and they sold it really cheap, wrote it off, and got rid of it.
Wasn't it just a hardware division, though?
Yeah, but now Nokia's going again, isn't it? But not on that larger scale, I don't think.
I don't know. Joe has Nokias. I saw one last week. Was it last week you pulled your Nokia out?
Oh, that was an old Nokia, one of these.
That's him. That's the one. Look at that sturdy little thing there. That's a good one. Well, who knows? Well, Windows was doing phones. Microsoft were doing phones. I think they've you think they've given up the idea of phones now?
I reckon.
I don't think so.
I don't reckon they have. I
don't think so either.
So many rumours over the last what 5 or 10 years, even before they bought Nokia, they wanted phones, and then Nokia we thought maybe was going to be the angle, but Steve Ballmer sort of stuffed that up, or Ballmer, whatever his name is. So I think with the Surface line, there's still hope yet.
Yeah, that's right. Last week I actually posted on my Facebook about Microsoft developing a Surface type phone. So yeah,
that's
not
right.
confirmed yet, but I still reckon they're in it.
That's right. That's where I read it. Yeah, off your page, Joe. That's right. Yes, I do remember reading that. So we'll stay tuned. But no, I'm happy with mine. It's good, and I think now the Xiaomi's about 270. Jordan, come down a bit in price than when I bought it. And
my boy really. He actually liked it. He was impressed. Like he's one of those kids that's got to be cool. He's got to have the best of the best. Yeah. And to talk him off Pixel, because his dad's got one, so he thinks I'm cool. Truth be known, he's probably not right. But at least he thinks that. He really wanted a Pixel. He wants me to get a new phone so he can have mine.
Right. Yeah, well, I think
so. We looked at those, and I think they're maybe a good option for a kid at that age.
Well, they're not that expensive, really, in the scheme of things. Like if they were to lose it or break it, you're not going to just really sit in the corner and cry. Like you've just spent $1,000 on a iPhone 10 or something.
No, but you might have trouble getting the screen fixed if you broke it. If it's a Chinese brand or something, you couldn't walk into a phone shop and go repair this, and they might have trouble finding a screen. And if they did, you'd probably pay good money for it. So you'd may as well just buy another phone.
Well, that's the thing. The way I sort of justified it was what you can buy an iPhone 8. They'd be probably 1,100, say. So call it 1,200, and then so therefore the Xiaomi's are 300. So you can buy 4 of them. So you got to bust 4 of them before you break even in buying one iPhone. So that's the way I justified it anyway.
Yeah. Oh, look, look, I'm with you on that. Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of a lot of the Chinese stuff, but.
Well, talking about iPhones, Apple is rebuilding the Map app. So, hallelujah, some people might say. Remember, when that first came out, that was just rubbish, wasn't it? That was just rubbish. It was taking people into deserted deserts and over hills and into gullies and everything, and was based on the TomToms. I don't know what went wrong, but Apple is rebuilding its app from the ground up with its own data set. TomTom will continue to be the data provider. Apple did not say how its use of TomTom would compare to its previous use, but TomTom shares fell after the news. So, what do you make of that then?
I think I said this on the show the other week. It's like Facebook, it's like Spotify, it's like Apple, it's like all these big companies. As soon as they come up with something, it's really hard to break tradition and have someone else beat it with something else. I reckon Google's already taken the map space.
Oh, for sure.
And I reckon it's going to be pretty hard for even Apple or anybody now to try and combat that. They may as well just all embrace it and give up. It's like, why try and compete with Spotify? They've already got the trend of the market. They've done it.
But I guess, Apple's not going to give up on music. Like, they pretty much, forged the way of the new way of doing music. They reimagined how we consume music. So I don't think they're going to give up on that. Maps, they've got so much money. They don't know what to do with it. They'll keep doing maps. They'll have their little Apple cars going around like they do.
Yeah.
As long as then there's two apps in each store, or actually you can't get Apple apps on the Android, but you can get Google apps on the Apple. You choose which one you want. Like, whatever happened to that on the Apple? There was a Where Is app. That was alright.
I remember that.
Yeah, they had the voices like Ray Warren and Dame Edna telling you where to go.
Yeah,
I
remember. But I wanted to replace my car map. Like, I don't know what the Apple CarPlay uses. Is it CarPlay? If they even have maps.
Something like Oh, if it's Apple, it would be it'd be Maps for sure.
So to me, it would make more sense to get an Android system in your car than an Apple one, just for that plain reason.
Aren't they dual systems? I think I asked this weeks ago. Aren't they like you can have either or? The cars come with either or something.
Maybe there might be some cars that you can choose. I mean, I've got a Holden one, so I've got a kind of a stock standard Holden one, and I feel like ripping it out and going and buying one of these Chinese, if it be Android ones,
I've got one of those in my car, those Android ones, those Chinese ones, and that works great.
I reckon it'd be so much better to have Google Maps than half these other crappy maps that get put in by other companies.
So what you can buy, can you, Joe? Like, you rip your old radio out and just put your new sort of console-y, screeny thing in.
I've actually took out the original radio that was in the car and installed a full-on Android operating system with the. It comes with a touchscreen, and it comes with digital connections with the GPS and all that.
Bluetooth and
it comes with everything. Wi-Fi.
What did that set you back? Can you remember?
I think it cost me about $450 plus installation, which a couple $100 for installation.
Right. Okay. And and so your car, you would have had enough space for the screen and the unit to slide in.
It's the standard 2 DIN.
Right.
2 DIN plug.
in my case, though, I've got a deluxe edition of my car, and it's all the heating controls and everything are all in the LCD screen. Right. So if I go and get a cheap Chinese one, I'll lose my heater control.
Oh yeah, right. Well, that's no good.
So I've got to go and get a heater control from another model or something and put it in, and then get the Android one or something. It's going to cost me about $1,200 all up.
Yeah. Well,
or I can just get the stock standard one that's about $1,200 and update it. But
interesting, because when I bought my little Cube, I put in I got a Bluetooth one put in, and because all this Android CarPlay wasn't out even 2012 I think when I bought my little Cube, and the Bluetooth the Bluetooth phone has never ever worked. There must be something wrong with the radio, and I wish I'd have figured it out when it was under warranty, but you get that. And so maybe that could be my next little purchase, some Android CarPlay action.
Android. Speaking of Android CarPlay action, someone just on the comments there in Facebook, Justin, made a really good comment about Waze. Have you heard of Waze? The app Waze?
Yes.
It's Google support, and that's Android as well. I'd say it's probably on iOS as well, probably. But that thing is amazing. Yes. That is a really good map app.
When the kids were littler or younger, I used to do the Waze so they could see me on the road, so they'd follow me on the way home. That sort of stuff. Yeah,
great app.
Yeah, it is good. I don't know. So Google must be going to implement something like that into Maps, you would think. Google Maps, if they bought it. So, but Waze is out there, isn't it? Like it's every now and
fantastic.
then. Every now and then you'll see how it's integrated with something around the place, and you go, "Oh yeah, right, Waze. I remember that. Yeah, cool. Yeah,
it's really good.
Very good. Who are we up to, Joe?
Joe, do you want to? No, we talked about Joe talked about the Microsoft thing, didn't he? The thing I wanted to hear about that, and he's already talked about it. But I've got something in comparison to that.
Yeah.
Samsung's obsession with huge batteries might continue in the Galaxy X. Obviously, Galaxy 10 they're talking about.
Oh, everything's
Samsung is widely expected to launch next year its most exciting Android phone yet, the Galaxy Edge, which supports, and I didn't say Galaxy Edge then, that would be funny, wouldn't it? Which is supposed to be the company's first foldable phone. A report a few days ago said that the Galaxy X design will be slightly different than what we've been led to believe. The phone will not fold in the way like a wallet, as a portion of the screen should still remain accessible for the user. That way the notifications and calls that come through in one glance are on the screen rather than folding them away. The new report now says that the phone might have incredible battery life, possibly even better than the Galaxy Note 9. If you're familiar with the Samsung rumours, then you know that the Galaxy 9 is rumoured to pack a monster 400 milliamp battery, which should provide superior battery life to what's available on the Galaxy Note 8 or the S9. Galaxy X might go all the way up to 6,000 milliamps, the kind of capacity you don't see on beautiful Android phones.
Beautiful Android phone.
On beautiful Android phones these days.
Was this written by Samsung, this article?
Yeah, I'd reckon. And read by Jordan, as you can tell. It's a bit wobbly. But so they're talking foldable for the next edition, like the Microsoft one, but they're talking a 6,000 milliamp battery. That's pretty crazy.
That's huge, isn't it? That is large. Just a couple of inputs from the Facebook Live from Paul. Nokia is owned by HMD. Never heard of them, but anyway.
It's just a brand, he says, and it's
right. Yeah. Paul also says about Waze. They already do location sharing in Google Maps. Is he talking about whatever? Yeah.
Yep.
I think there was another one there. Someone took a Tesla. Justin took a Tesla X for a drive on Friday. Strongly say take one for a test drive. So awesome. If I could afford one, I would buy one.
Mate, I saw one. I went to that. Went to Melbourne and saw that Avengers show when it came out. We took the kids up there and to the Avengers show, and they had two of them at the front. Man, they are nice looking vehicles.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, good stuff. Should have jumped in one.
I sat in it. They wouldn't let me drive it. Obviously, it was on display, but I sat in it. Beautiful, absolutely.
Did you walk in with a few hundred just hanging out your pocket, Justin? Is that how you got the test drive?
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah. Well, there's more of them out there than you realise, and I don't know if we've got. They've got a Tesla Have they got a Tesla in Melbourne? A Tesla shop in Melbourne? I don't know.
I don't know. Where are you from, Justin? Let us know where you're from. I don't go around. I know we've got an automobile, I don't know, plaza or something over here in Rabina, but yeah, it's all Mercedes.
I thought Melbourne were getting a Tesla shop. Yeah. I was going to mention too, there was a comment while you're on the Facebook comments. We were talking about the phones earlier, and Paul wrote that Pixel 2, not the camera.
What?
I think we were maybe talking about the comparisons of your Xiaomi phone and the Pixel, I think, and you were saying the camera's not. So Paul might like to clarify on that what he meant.
Yeah. All right. Where are we up to? What do you got? You got any more, Joe?
No, I'm done. That's it for me.
Oh, what about you, Jordan?
Yeah, I've got a couple. While we're on the phone, I'll do another quick phone one. This is not so much a news report, but we may be able to post this on the show notes or something later if anybody wants to read further into it. But modern Android phones are so much faster and smoother than they used to be, even compared to a few short years ago. Of course, speed on the smartphone is just like battery life. You can never get enough. The latest generation Qualcomm Snapdragon processor has been combined with extra RAM in 2018 Android flagship phones to create the smoothest and most powerful Android experience to date. In fact, technology has progressed so much that a couple of recent Android flagship phones have been found to be even faster than the current generation iPhone models running on iOS 11. The Samsung Galaxy S9 and the OnePlus 6, which I think one of the guys was talking about on Facebook before, both actually managed to beat the iPhone X in real-life speed tests on YouTube. I'm not going to go all the way through this whole article, but what they're saying is that there's hidden tricks in Android. There's settings that you can get to speed up any Android phone. Right. And it says, here's how it works. Each time you open an app and close an app and switch between apps and so on, your phone displays a transition animation to take you from one screen to the next. It's the sort of thing that fades into the background as you use your phone. So you probably don't even notice these transition animations. But playing these transition animations on your phone displays takes up time and also speed of your phone. That was a mouthful. So it says in here, and I'll just abbreviate. It says in here that in every iPhone, and I've done this before, in every Android phone, there's the developer settings that you can't see. So if you go into the About section of your settings and you scroll down to the build number and tap on it 7 times consecutively, you can then open up the developer settings, and that's where you can change the animation scaling and transition scaling and animator scaling and so on and so forth to speed up your phone.
All right.
Massively, they reckon. I'll if I pop this article into a messenger thing to you, Glenn, you can post it, can you, I suppose?
Oh, yeah. Can you stick it in the show notes? Do you know how to do that?
Well, you want to just paste it at the bottom or something?
Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, and then I'll just...
Will it let me?
Yep.
Paste?
Yep.
Oh, there we go. Done.
We'll scoop it all up.
At the very bottom. So that's got the how-to at the bottom of that article. But I would suggest that if you're not... it says it here on the article as well. It says that if you're not tech savvy, be very careful in those developer settings, because if you change the wrong thing, you might not reboot your phone again afterwards.
Yes.
So only change what's in that article.
Well, that's all the stories I've got. Unless you've got any more, Jordan.
I have got one more I wanted to quickly touch on. Where is it? I might have just closed it by accident. Hang on, where was it?
Somewhere around the place.
Oh, I think I might have touched on this last week. Possibly. Apple's new version of iOS is the strongest sign yet that Apple finally believes that the customer is always right.
Oh, I thought Steve was always right.
Yeah, for most people, there's only one feature in the latest version of the iOS that matters: the big bump in performance. With iOS 12 officially launches this fall, devices that came out in 2015 will see apps open 40% faster, according to Apple. The keyboard shouldn't lag, and you shouldn't miss getting that perfect photo because the camera is faster too. Sure, the software contains 3D emojis and improvements for facial recognition. For the most part, though, Apple gave its users what it wanted. The iPhone, the iPhones, they already have, but faster, cleaner, and tighter. Its stability update, in other words, is its stability update, in other words, cleaning up all the gunk underneath the hood. That said, if only Apple could improve the battery life. Oh, that's somebody else having a comment in this. I hate it when these journalists throw their comments in. Can't they just get to the point?
Yeah, look, it's at the moment, I'm pretty happy with the Android versus my old iPhone. So, yeah.
But I think that's one thing with the Apple phone. Even when I was on it, it used to bug me with the performance. You know, like the older the phone got, the slower it got.
Well, we all know now. We all now know why, don't we?
And we had to buy a new phone every year just to keep up with it.
That's right.
You know, like it's just kind of annoying. Yet people, and I don't mean to bag Apple, but people just really say Apple is the best, and they plug it and plug it and plug it, and they don't like it when people say anything bad about them. But it's true. I don't think I know many people that can say they don't update their phone every year because it gets slow.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It does.
It does. And I'm sure this Xiaomi will get slow, but, you know.
Oh, they all do, yeah.
That's just how it goes. Now,
you know, not as drastically as that. Like, I've got paperweight Apple devices here in my house that are only good for paperweights. You can't even turn them on. They're so slow.
Well, I don't throw them away, because I was reading an article today. All these old iPods and iPhones, they're starting to be worth a lot of money for you know, the old collectors.
Even though they take 10 minutes to turn on with the latest operating system.
Yeah. Was that Joe?
Yep, that's right. They sure are.
Yeah. You'd have a few, wouldn't you, stuck around under some boxes or something?
I've got heaps of them around.
Yeah, you got iPods and all that sort of stuff?
I still got the iPhone 3G and 3GS lying around.
Yeah, I might have the iPhone 3GS. I don't know if I got the iPhone 3G.
I've
got a 4, got a 6.
I got the original Click one, if I got it here somewhere.
Oh, the little iPod. Yeah, I got an iPod somewhere as well. I'm not sure what model it is.
I got the original one there, and it still works.
Yeah, right. What do you reckon that's worth? Anything exciting?
I haven't looked recently, but last time I looked, it was over $100.
Yeah. Wow.
What did you? I'm gonna go. Is that an iPod? What do you call that? Just an iPod Click or something? I'm gonna try and look on eBay before we go. Let's have a look and see if we can get one of those.
This is the iPod 20 gigabyte version.
Is it like a classic iPod Classic?
I can't even remember what it was called, this particular model.
Yeah, this might be it here. What's this here? What's this one here say? Well, 120 iPod Black 7th generation, 160 gig, $120. Yeah, there's a couple down there. iPod Classic 359. Yeah. Oh, so yeah, don't want to chuck them away.
It's amazing how Apple holds its value, isn't it?
Yeah, even those old, the old Macintoshes, you know, the old small screen, I don't know, a big 5-inch screen or something, whatever they were.
Yeah, with the floppy drive in the front of it.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, they're starting to get worth a bit of money now. People would turn them into fish tanks, but I think they're probably getting worth more than a fish tank now. Yeah.
It's crazy. I often wonder to myself, when you look at Apple and these big companies, I often wonder how much of Apple is just how much of why people believe one or the other is good, but how much of Apple is actually influence and how much isn't, and how much of the other companies is just influence and isn't. You know? Like, I think many people just go, it's good, and then everybody else just kind of follows suit, not really knowing why. Some people may not be technical, and they go, "Oh, it's Apple, it must be right," you know.
I have to admit, Jordan, a while back when Apple started and Microsoft were around as well, Apple was the cream of the crop. There was nothing better than Apple around. Even the Microsoft phone. I even had the Microsoft phone at that stage.
So did I, and I don't disagree with you. I think that Apple did have some really top-notch stuff, and they were leading the way. But it's.
Yeah, but today, I have to say that Android phones have to take the cake. I mean, I didn't use an Apple phone for a long time. I borrowed one off a friend of mine, the iPhone 6. I used it for about a month, and to tell you the truth, after a couple of days, I wanted my Android phone back. But I persevered for a good 4 weeks just so that I'd get over the thing of, I've got to use it. And then I'm back to my Android, and I couldn't be happier.
Yeah.
I'm the same. I don't think I've, like with my Pixel, I've only got the Pixel 1, but I don't think it's ever crashed. I don't, I mean, obviously I've restarted, but I could say the amount of times I've restarted, I wouldn't even remember in the time I've had it. It barely anything ever goes wrong with it. But my wife's Apple, she's only got a 6 Plus, but the last one that they released before they brought out the 7, but constantly freezing, having to restart, problems with this, problems with that.
I'm still using my LG G3, and it's still going really great. Touchscreen. There's no button here, anything. Yeah. All the buttons in the back.
Oh, nice.
And the only time it's ever crashed is when I had a problem with the battery. So I actually replaced the battery, and bang, away she goes again.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. All right. So how's the YouTube page going, Joe?
Not as strong as I'd like. There's only a few subscribers. I guess that's probably because of the lack of information and things that I put on there. I have been busy with other things at the moment, so I'm going to try and get all that going a bit better.
We got to get you a some easy sort of link or something, so we can.
Yes, I still have to work on that. Maybe you can make some suggestions, and I'll just take one or two. Take one of them.
Yeah. So if you just want to make up, so I don't know, joethegadgetman.com/YouTube, and that'll take you straight to it. We'll fix that up. We'll fix that one up.
Yeah.
And make it easy for people to find.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, that's easy. We'll do that for next week. We'll push that next
week.
And
then on the show each week you can say something about it and people remember because it's nice and easy.
Can you just send me or even if you just put it in the bottom of the show notes, just send me the actual YouTube link, please. Save me going looking for it, and I'll fix it up. All right. So you can get us on the emails. You can get us on the Twitter at Aussie Tech Heads, at Glenn Goodman, hashtag OzTechHeads. You can get us everywhere. So that's about the end of the show for this week. So thanks for joining us and thanks for tuning in. So we'll see you guys next week, hopefully. So thanks for coming in, Joe. We'll see you next time.
No worries. See you later, guys.
Thanks, Jordan. We'll see you next time.
No worries at all. Thank you. And rip to Milo.
To Milo, yes. I'm going to end the show with I found a YouTube. He was into music. He liked playing his guitar and so forth, and he had a couple of tunes that he recorded up on the YouTube page. And this tune that I picked, it was just him just sitting in his, I don't know, kitchen or dining room or something, with two little canaries in the background, and he was just strumming away. As
originals or covers?
No, just originals.
Original songs, cool.
Yeah. No, he didn't sing, but he just instrumental, and it was just him just having a bit of a jam at home. So so sad news for old Milo, but hope you get some peace and find out where you're going and go gracefully. All right, good stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thanks Milo. Thanks guys, and enjoy Milo.